Hello, people. What is going on? It is Wednesday. Hope everyone's having a very, very good day wherever they are and enjoying life, so to speak. Before I get started, please do smash a like on the video, subscribe to E20 Zone TV, and hit the notification bell and all of that malarkey. West Ham. Todibo was meant to come. Is he going to come? Is he not going to come? Are Juventus going to get him? Who knows? Who knows what's going on with that one? But for me, that is a superb signing. That is a signing. That's a statement of intent signing. That's a signing that boosts our defence massively. And I'm going to be honest. If we get him in, and Juve don't go and make a bid for him, because apparently Juve haven't made a bid for him as yet, but he prefers Juve to us, then, you know, we've got to look at this and go, let's get him in. Let's make sure we get this geezer in. I'm liking the sort of profile of that geezer. Yeah, strong, powerful, good in the air, good in the ground. He's a sort of player that will get stuck in, and that's what we need. That's one thing that we need at West Ham United. For me, Todibo is a must. Yeah, because I don't think we've got enough defensive quality currently right now with the crop of players that we've got. I think some of the players that we've got are shit. I'm going to be honest. Yeah, and I think they need to be moved on. And Todibo is a up and coming French. He's a French international. Like, he's been in the French side before and everything else. So I'm all for it with him. I really am. Yeah, really am. I think he's a top player. I want to see him at the club. Can West Ham get him done? I don't know. I hope so. Yeah. Let's talk about another man. Yeah. And so Daddy says, sadly, Todibo is going to Juventus. I don't think so, mate. Because Juventus have got to put a bid in first. Yeah. They haven't put a bid in Denise yet. So if they don't, then I can see it turning. And he might come to us. Hopefully, Mr. Steinen can get cooking on that and getting something done on that one. Next up is Wan-Bissaka. Yeah, Aaron Wan-Bissaka. £15 million from Manchester United. I am so mixed on this one. I don't think this is really an upgrade. I'm going to be honest. Yeah, I've seen him defensively, and trust me on this when I say this. He comes to West Ham, yeah, you will be screaming at your TVs or in the stands or wherever you are around the planet about Aaron Wan-Bissaka, how this geezer can defend. Yeah, I'm not on this one at all. Yeah, I think this is a signing that just doesn't fill me with great joy. Walker Peters, yeah, for the sake of what? 7 million more? Carl Walker Peters or Wan-Bissaka? I'd go for Walker Peters, mate. Good defensively, terrible going forward. I think defensively he's iffy though, mate. I'm not being funny. It's always last ditch defending with Aaron Wan-Bissaka every single time. Like, every time he plays, it's last ditch. It's like, I used to call him Spider, I think it was, because his legs, he used to stretch and managed to make tackles, like last ditch tackles and things like that. I'm not on it. I'm not on it on this one. I really am not. £15 million seems like a good deal. He's been in Manchester for a good while. Obviously, he wants to come back down to London. He was previously at Crystal Palace. So I get it. But I'm like, yeah, if we sign him, whatever. It's like signing a name, but you know, he's not a fancy name. He's a Manchester United reject to a point. Do you know what I mean? Because they can't wait to shift him. So yeah, I'm not on this Wan-Bissaka one. I really am not. I'm not going to get too giddy about it, but it is what it is. Let's see what Ricky's got to say. We have shown that we can loan for a year and then pay. This will suit Juve. I'm going to be honest. That loan for a year, right, and buying him for 36 million or 30 million, that's a master stroke that comes off. Listen, I don't think it's done yet. I'm going to be honest. The Todibo one, I don't think it's dead. Yeah, because they've been working on him for the last week, and if he just up sticks and goes to Juventus do have to make a bid first. Do you know what I'm saying? Do you know what I mean? So if Juventus decide to go elsewhere because they're not on him, then he's a bit lumbered, isn't he? So listen, until he's in the black and white of the Juve top, that's where I'm going to land on it for now. Do you know what I'm saying? Right, what we've got here? Derek Porter. I hope you're well, mate, wherever you are. I think he's better than Walker Peters. I don't know about that, mate. I don't know. I think Walker Peters is a very, very good going forward and defensively. Wan-Bissaka defensively, I'm just not on it. I'm just not on it. I'll just look at him and I think, right, he's at Manchester United. He's had a good time there. I watched the game last season with Aaron Wan-Bissaka, and I was shocked at how bad he actually was in the game. I can't remember who they played, yeah, but they weren't playing anyone of any sort of high quality. And he was all over the place, just all over the place defensively, out of position. And his positional play was shocking. I'm not going to lie, it was really shocking. But if he comes to us, he plays in the system that Lopetegui wants to set out, then fair enough. It is what it is. £15 million. It's not a big transfer, but it's big enough for a right back. Not being funny. So if Emerson goes at what 12 million, I think Emerson was previous, and you got Wan-Bissaka coming at 15. Wan-Bissaka one side, Emerson the other side. I can understand it. Like they're going to bomb up and down. They're going to overlap. And one thing I will say about the right-hand side, the right-hand side's got to be pucker, especially this season, because whoever plays right wing for West Ham, whether that's Kudus, Bowen, whoever, they have to have an overlapping runner and someone who can take defenders away to allow them into space. Last season, it was very iffy on that right-hand side, yeah, because Kufal wasn't really bombing on and getting and doing that, so to speak. So, you know, uh, what would you choose? What was your choice to train every week? Port Academy Central or state of the art facilities at Juve? That's a valid point. Do you know what I mean? But as he had pie and mash, Ricky, that's the real question. Like pie and mash or pasta, which one would you want? I mean, because I'm going to have a pie and mash liquor, bit of vinegar, lovely jubbly. Do you know what I mean? That's what it's all about. But let's hope he likes pies. You know what I mean? He can come to West Ham and have some pie. Uh, until Moyes comes back and we sign Lingard, things will always be poop poop. Yeah, well, everyone who keeps mentioning David Moyes, yeah, I've got a meme that I found. Only Fools and Horses. I'm going to be honest, one of the greatest ever shows to ever live, ever made. And there's a thing in it where Rodney comes in, sits down, and he forgets that he's moved now. He's got a wife, he's got a flat, and he don't live here no more. So the meme is every time I keep hearing Moyes, I post that meme on Twitter. He don't live here no more. Do you know what I mean? So because he lives rent free in a lot of people's heads at the minute. So it is it's a bit of a sticky one, but David Moyes has been and gone, and now it's Lopetegui era. Would you either of them any upgrade to flag and take corners and long throws? Yeah, it's valid, man. Valid. Costa, hope you're well, mate. CT James, we're going to move on the fella from Leipzig, and he's not sitting on our ass waiting for Todibo to warm up to us. This is the new West Ham. Yeah, I see that. I see that. Is it Solet or whatever his name is? Looks all right. Don't know nothing about him. Yeah, I just see a clip of him, one clip. So I ain't gonna prejudge the geezer. But I do think if you get Todibo in, that's a strong centre half there. I mean, that is a rock solid geezer. And someone said to me the other day on Twitter, do you really know much about him? And I was like, well, yeah, I do because I watch a bit of French football. I've seen that geezer play with France, and he looks solid. He looks solid. And when I say he looks solid for us. Yeah, Manchester United have been hunting this geezer down for a little while. Yeah, and they can't get him because of the Ratcliffe situation. I think it is because he owns part of Nice. He can't have a player going from one club to another because he's a part owner or something like that. Yeah, so what it is that's why we're trying to get in there and get this geezer because he's available basically. So that's what we should do. That's what we should do. We should be going for these high-end quality players. Now I'm going to speak about another player, yeah, that's been mentioned today. Yeah, this is how much people do drive me mental. As I have a drop of my Coca-Cola, Mr. Reece Nelson. Now, people keep telling me He's a left winger. He's not a left winger. He's actually a right winger. And he's a right winger who can play left. Yeah, but that's not his natural position, right? I don't know how people feel on Reece Nelson. I really don't. Yeah, I don't know how people feel in regards of him as a player. For me, I look at him. He reminds me Nottingham Forest, Crystal Palace, Brentford. That model. Yeah. When I look at him for us, I I'm looking at a player that is like he's like another Maxwell Cornet for me. He really is. Yeah. I'm not on this one. And the fear is with me, and this is one fear that I have, yeah. And people keep going, oh no, you're being negative. When West Ham are looking at loads of wingers, they are looking at loads of wingers, yeah. Sol, Nelson, Zaha. There's a few others in there that have been mentioned also. Um, for me, I'm not on this winger lark, but I can see what's going to happen. Bowen's going to go up front, and they're going to get wingers in around Bowen, and they can rotate it. Bowen, Antonio, Kudus, and that way. A centre forward is a must at this club. I'm going to be honest, yeah. And when I'm seeing links to Dominic Calvin-Lewin, that is really taking the piss out of every fan. Do you know what I'm saying? And was it Callum Wilson? So that's my little rant on that. He's doing us a favour. Season-long loan for Nice, centre back to help us fund for the Aaron Wan-Bissaka deal. We're lucky to be getting the deal, to be honest. This would help us out so much. Oh, I forgot to write a loan with an option to buy. Well, if it is a loan to option to buy, then so be it. Fulham had a bid 17 million for Manchester United's McTominay. Didn't we bid 40 and get rejected? Yeah, I know, mate. I know. Well, we swerved that one. Name me a single player we have signed from Arsenal that has been great for West Ham. Hartson is the only one till he kicked off. Good question. Oh, that's a good one. We have signed some players from there, but they've always been has-beens all the time. Nigel Winterburn, Ian Wright, Davil Suker. Who was the other player? Marouane Chamakh. Remember him? Back in the day, we signed him from Arsenal. Um, who else was there? Is it Lundberg? Let's not forget Lundberg. We're still getting over. I can see people saying Liam Brady. That's a bit before my time, but I understand it. Yeah, us and Arsenal just don't get on. You know what I'm saying? As simple as that. Us and Arsenal just don't get on. But then I want people to tell me if they would have Nelson in the chat. Now I put a poll up on Twitter. And I basically turned around and said, would you have Reece Nelson? And it's about 60-40 in favour of having him. I think people have him because of the pace that he can bring. Like, he is quite a rapid player. Has he really been given the opportunity for Arsenal? Really? No. I would say not. But when I look at Reece Nelson, I look at Arsenal are there, Reece Nelson's there, and he's nowhere near the bracket where he needs to get to for Arsenal. So it's a bit of a. I'm definitely on the fence with that one. Yeah, but I think that one. If someone said to me right now, Reece Nelson or Wilfried Zaha, I'm going for Nelson. Yeah, because you've got more potential with that. And let's have it right. Arsenal do sod up from wingers. Yeah, they let go of Gnabry before, went to Bayern, and he's done pretty decent. So we will see what happens with that. No, I would not have Reece Nelson injury prone. Yeah, well, I make you right, mate. Did we get Ian Wright from Arsenal? Yes, we did. Yeah, we did. I remember it. 1999, I think. Memory serves me right. I remember it very, very well. He come. I'll tell you why I remember it. He done the push when Di Canio. When Di Canio pushed over Alcock, the referee. We played a game on a Monday night, I think it was, because I remember it was a night game, and he pushed the geezer, and Neil Razor Ruddock was there and all. I mean, those were the days when football was great. I'm telling you that now. You know what I mean? So yeah. Oh, another one, Carl Jenkinson. Yeah, how can I forget him? Do you know what I mean? He come from Arsenal and all. So Yeah, I don't know, man. Let's have a look. Yes, usual did have a question there, but I've managed to. Oh, it is. James, this is upcoming season. Let's have a football odds video every week. I will be doing that, mate. I'll be looking to do that, but I might be doing that on the members side of things, mate, because obviously I'll have to like space this out. Do you know what I'm saying? But the football betting side of things, I will be sort of bringing back in the new season. I have got a nice little bet on West Ham. If they sign the players that I think they're going to sign, or I hope they sign, yeah, I think you can actually get West Ham to finish in the top 10 at even money. Right now, if they go and sign Todibo and they bring in another one and they bring a centre forward in, that's a given, mate. Absolute given. Because I'll be very, very shocked. And I'm going to be honest, I'll be angry if West Ham don't finish in the top 10. Like, especially the way we're going. But it'd be interesting to see. But I've got an even money shot coming up. And also, I said the other day about I was doing a live stream and I said Jude Bellingham for Sports Personality of the Year. Yeah, the odds are sort of drifted out a bit because obviously England have lost in the Euros. If England would have won that, I think that was absolutely nailed on that he gets it. Like really do. So yeah, James, it'd be generally anger if we spend good money on Reece Nelson. Epic hash time is having none of it. He's having none of it, mate. He said no. Do you know what I mean? Why spend 20 million on a washed up Nelson when we can go and get a Philogene, Clark, or Jota Silva for the same and less? Do you know what? It's the English homegrown quota, isn't it? That's what it is. That's the real problem. Do you know what I mean? Aston Villa are going to get Philogene. Yeah, they have got a buyback clause in their contract. They sold him to Hull, and they're going to sign Philogene for this. It is right. 13 or it's either 12.7 or 13.2 million pounds. What a bargain. Yeah. And that's where West Ham have got to be clever now. We've got to start doing buyback clauses and things like that. If players go and they perform, get a buyback clause in their contract. Do you know what I'm saying? So, you know, uh, Clark, that's gone really dead. Jota Silva's the interesting one. I'm going to be honest. When I read that, yeah, Jota Silva's the interesting one because we was all over him. It seemed like he was the next Jack Grealish, like sort of wish version. Then all of a sudden, it's just gone dead. It's just gone complete and utter dead. Like nothing at all. So I don't know what's going on there. What we've got here from Swansea, I think. Oh, listen, breaking news. Lucas Perry is set to be available for West Ham for almost all the next season, despite spot fixing charges hanging over his head due to a complex of the case. Well, if that is the case, yeah, and that is true, right? Because I'm not saying it isn't true, but if it is true and he does get away with it and he's available, then that's a big plus for West Ham. Like that's a big relief to a point because if we was to lose Paqueta, i.e., selling him or being banned for X amount of time, that's just West Ham's luck all over. I'm gonna be honest. That's just West Ham's luck all over. So we'll see what happens with that. Worst signing from Arsenal was Freddie Ljungberg. Oh yeah, yeah. I don't know. Shamaka was crap, mate. Honestly, and there's a few others. I'm just trying to think off the top of my head, like the other players that have come from Arsenal to West Ham, and there's one there. I can't picture it, but I know he's crap. Do you know what I'm saying? So we don't want to pay Jota Silva's release clause. Yeah, I know, mate. I know. I'm going to talk about strikers now. So let me know what you think in the comment section below. But the other day, it come out that West Ham won't match what Villa want for Duran. I think Villa want 40 million, and West Ham ain't prepared to go to that bracket for that amount for that player. Then the alternative is Dominic Calvin-Lewin. Honestly, I don't know. I seriously, for a club who is a professional outfit, I do not understand how West Ham can't seem to get a striker in and just secure it. Like it just seems like teams know that we're desperate for a striker. Now, this is my argument is, and I said this on Twitter earlier on, and people get a bit twisted. Yeah, in this world. Basically, what do you do for this season? Yeah, if we can't go and get a centre forward that is a sort of top quality centre forward, because whoever comes in has got to match what Bowen done last season. Yeah, he's simply got to match it. Yeah, he's got to match the goals, and he's got to be as effective in the box as what Bowen did. Otherwise, you just keep Jared Bowen there. Simple as that. You just keep Jared Bowen there, and you just build around Bowen outwards, sort of thing. So you get a left winger, a right winger, or like creative midfielder, whatever. Um, Dominic Calvert-Lewin has been mentioned. Callum Wilson keeps getting mentioned over and over again. Yeah. And the Isak situation at Newcastle, if Isak stays, then Wilson's going to be there. You know what I mean? Um, so yeah, let me know what you think in the comment section below. Like Dominic Calvert-Lewin, like I saw that the other day. Dominic Calvert wants to go to Newcastle. Not sure if he wants to live in the south, but I don't see how he goes to Newcastle without them getting rid of Isak. Isak must be on his way now. If you're a centre forward like Callum Wilson, your nose is going to be out of joint massively, because if they go and get Dominic Calvert-Lewin, get rid of Isak, then it just he's going to want to move. Right? It's just a typical West Ham move, that one. It really is. Uh, let Tim cook though, James. Well, I'm not asking him to cook. I'm asking him to go out and get me a centre forward, mate. Do you know what I'm saying? And we need one urgently. And the fear is with me, and I'm going to be honest, is that I can see wingers galore. Yeah, Sol's a winger, Nelson's a winger, Saha's a winger. There was another player the other day that was mentioned. Jota Silva's a winger. Yeah, they're all wingers. I'm not seeing many strikers. Um, who is your dream signing, James? Um, ooh, who's your dream signing? I would like us to go out and get someone like Gibbs White or someone like that. I do think we need someone creative. I think we knew last season when Paqueta wasn't there, um, that West Ham sort of didn't know how to sort of attack. And that is a little bit of a concern, yeah. When Lucas Paqueta wasn't playing last season, the goals just dried up massively. So I don't know who, but I would like someone to come in and take that role if Paqueta's not available. I see people saying he's available, he's not available. I think creativity in our side is a must. Yeah, we've got James Ward-Prowse for set pieces, free kicks, all that game. Yeah, but we need someone who's in open play, can sort of create something out of nothing, and we haven't got many of them. Yeah, what it is, Bowen, Mohamed Kudus, you want him on the end of the chances that are being created, and for me, I don't see a lot of creativity in our side. Do you know what I mean? I don't see someone who's going to play a pass through the middle of the park and then let unleash Bowen or unleash Kudus. Do you know what I'm saying? And I think if we're asking Guilherme to do that, then it's a big, like, you're asking a big risk, ain't you, for an 18-year-old to come in and try and be the creative player in our side. So I do think creativity is a big thing with West Ham currently right now. Do you know what I'm saying? We don't need a striker. We've got Bowen. Let's develop him. Uh, we do need a centre forward, mate. We do, but the thing is with us, we don't know how to get the best one. Do you know what I'm saying? That's the problem with us. Now you could go down the route of Jonathan David, Tammy Abraham, yeah, or you go out like I've always said the other day with Lucas. You go out and you go and get Ivan Toney, and you make a statement signing. You go and drop 45 million to Brentford and say, right, it's 45 million. What you're saying? Now I said it the other day, and I say it again. I don't think Brentford can afford to let this geezer go for cheap. Yeah. And I don't think they can afford to let him run his contract down for another 6 months to January to a point. I believe that if they're going to sell Ivan Toney, they're going to sell him right late in the window at the back end of August, because I think they're going to want a set fee, 45, 50 million. And when people ain't going to come in for that, someone will come in and drop a £40 million bid and say, right, take it or leave it deal. It'd be like, take it or leave it. So, it's one of them ones at the minute. It really is. And I'm a bit concerned that we ain't looking at Ivan Toney. Yeah. Do you know what I'm saying? But, what will be your midfield next season? Oh, yeah. You're on one today, Peaceful Meyer, but I love it. I'll tell you what. I don't know. I don't know what people think on Irving. I don't know. Like this geezer come in the other day, assisted a really good goal, had a pretty decent half. Yeah, decent. I'm not going to get too carried away. Um, but you know, I I don't know, mate. I simply don't know. People say my stream's going down. Well, if it is, it is. But I apologise if it is. Let me know if I'm back. You know what I'm saying? Hi, James. We need to move the ball quicker this season going forward. 100% agree, mate. 100% agree. Like last season, like it was too slow. And even in the game the other day, I know people get a bit carried away about the other day, and even I did. But it was like too many passes. It needs to be pass, and up the pitch. Um, you're lagging, James, but it seems okay. My internet's all good though, mate. For some reason, someone's trying to ruin me stream, but it is what it is. Um, we were very direct last season. Oh, I agree on that. I agree on that. I actually heard Irving in the second come in. Oh Christ! Yeah, like let me know. Listen, this ball is falling a bit. Maybe it's that. But let me know what you think on Irving because I thought like Irving surprised a lot of people. Let's be honest, a lot of fans have I've been making a meme of this geezer, right? Like really making a meme of this geezer, and he come in and he's done all right. I'll be honest with you. So I'll get that question now. James, what is your dream starting 11 this season? Oh yeah, uh, Ariola, Emerson. I'll go 4-3-3. Yeah, Ariola, Emerson, Todibo would be great. Kilman. Right hand side, Carl Walker Peters. Because I'm not on the Aaron Wan-Bissaka train. Just am not. I'm going to be honest. I think it's a good like signing for West Ham, but it's a one like I don't really get. When we signed Emerson, I was up for it. You know what I mean? And it's one of them. Midfield, Alvarez. I'm going to say Souček. Yeah, because I think if you can get Souček in there and then get a good technical midfielder, someone who's box to box, powerful. Yeah. So that way it rests up on Souček to a point. You've got to look at. I'm not going to say it, Irving, but if he comes in and performs, then he's going to be pushing Souček. As simple as that, isn't he? Do you know what I'm saying? And people will look at him and go, "No, well, let's give him a go because he's more creative than Souček." Do you know what I mean? I think obviously centre forward's a problem, mate. It's a major problem for West Ham because if you take and we have not got a player who can do the same as what Antonio can do, right? We just haven't got it. And if we lose Antonio, then we're losing a physical threat. So I do think we need a physical centre forward at the club. Yeah, Dominic Solanke would be a good signing. I remember the boys on the Spaces years ago, last year. Yeah, all saying go and get Dominic Solanke. He'd be perfect for West Ham. And I laughed. I was like, no way, no way. He's not all that. I watched him last season, and I thought, you know what, he won't be at Bournemouth for long. Do you know what I mean? He won't be at Bournemouth for long. And I'd love him to be there or Tony. My perfect. What me per like honestly, I think it all depends on the system. But if you're going to go 4-3-3, you go with a Solanke. If we can go and get Tony out of Brentford, imagine having a front four of Tony, Kudus, Bowen, and then a left-sided attacker of quality. We would be arguably we'd be in the top seven. We really would, because I just feel that if Tony arrives at West Ham, he's bagging you 15 goals minimum a season. Like he's a penalty taker, he's a goal scorer, and he's a bastard. He's all three of them things, and that's what you want. Um, but I don't know how Lopetegui's going to play it. I really don't. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, I honestly couldn't tell you at the minute. It's exciting to see. That player there, I do like. I watched a bit of him, and also there's a player who plays for Fenerbahce. Can't pronounce his name, so I ain't gonna nose it up. Ferdinand, he's a right back. He's a utility man. Plays for Fenerbahce. Played right back for them. Uh, and I watched him in the Euros, and he was electric. Like really good. Gets up and down the pitch. Can beat people. Plays for Fenerbahce. Someone knows who I'm talking about, and they will put it in the chat. So yeah. But he's too old, Jimbo. 28's too old, they say. It's never too old, mate. If that's too old, we might as well give up the game now. Let's be honest. Do you know what I'm saying? If 28 years of age is too old for a centre forward, and I said this to Lucas the other day, yeah, and I'll say it right now, right? It all depends on preference of what you want as a West Ham fan, yeah? Do you want a progressive West Ham fan over the next 2 years, yeah? Or do you look at West Ham and think, right, look where we've been, now we need to fire ourselves back into that position again. Yeah, under Lopetegui, get players in, and we should be looking to get into that top 8. Yeah. My attitude is I don't think you can have a transitional season with a manager that's only got 2 years on his contract. I just don't understand that one. So what you're saying is do it for 2 years and then basically see how the land lies in 2 years. But for me, we should be looking at competing for Europe. That's where West Ham are. West Ham are arguably the ninth best team in that league. When you look at the teams underneath us, you're Brentford, Brighton, Everton, Forest, Wolves. We're better than all them teams. And like we should be saying that quite openly and saying, like, we should be above all them teams. But when I see people saying about, a mid-table finish, I'm like, we're not a mid-table side. We used to be a mid-table side, but we're not a mid-table side now. So um, will it be an issue, James, with Ings? I don't think Ings is going anywhere, mate. If you want me to be honest, who's really going to give up 125 grand a week? I think the geezer sits there for another year, and I think we can't shift him. And the problem is, and it really drives me nuts, is we didn't learn from the Yarmolenko situation. Like we simply did not learn. Right, the Yarmolenko situation was we paid him stupid money, and then we go and do the same thing with Danny Ings, and we've got the same situation again that we can't get rid of Danny Ings because he ain't gonna leave. He just simply ain't gonna leave unless we pay up his contract. He ain't gonna want to go, mate. Right, I just don't see it. I want West Ham, who is able to control the game for once. I'm going to be honest. All this about controlling the game. Honestly, when people see that West Ham are not that side to control games, yeah, then it will shock you. It will shock you. West Ham are not. I've never known West Ham to be a team over the years to control games. Never. I've always known us to give away sloppy goals, literally like wham bam, like counter attacks and attacking and bad defending and all that. I've never seen us control a match. Never, not really. And if we have controlled a match, it's against a total less opposition. Now, if you're going to control a match, then I want to see us control a match against Manchester United, Arsenal, teams like that. That's where where I want them to control games. But I just don't see it. I don't see it. I think it's a lot of buzzwords for a lot of bollocks, and I just don't buy it. I just don't buy it at all. Uh, we don't need to control games. We just need to have more idea on the ball and able to play out from the back. None of this 70% possession for the sake of bollocks. See, I disagree on that. Amount of times over the last 2 years, amount of times I've seen West Ham concede goals from their own mistakes from playing out the back, like every time. Crystal Palace a few years ago, not last season, the season before, when we lost the game. I think it was 4-3 or 5-3 or whatever it was. Yeah, it was a mental game, right? Souček gets the ball, they play at the back. Teams jump on West Ham because they're slow, etc. The problem is our midfield isn't capable of controlling the ball and moving the ball at pace. Ward-Prowse isn't good enough at doing it. Souček's not good enough at doing it. And Alvarez, I just don't think he's that player. Even though he's been trained by Ajax, he's had a good career at Ajax before he come to us. I don't think he can get the ball under pressure and release it, and West Ham could go pass, and then we're attacking. I just don't see that. I really don't. So Jimbo, I'm not saying play out back for the sake of it. I'm saying it's more ability to play out of a press. See, I agree with that. I do agree with that, and I do think West Ham this season. But I think that all goes into the midfield, though, mate. If I'm being honest, I think the midfield, for me, if you're going to play that way, and what is it? Is it a possession-based game? Really? If it is, we haven't got the midfielders for it. We certainly Souček is not that player. Now, the reason why I say about having Souček in the side because you know that he's going to give 100%, cut and thrust, and he's good in both boxes. He's good at set pieces in our box, and he's good at set pieces in their box. So that's where I'm at with it. But our midfield needs to be addressed. Then if we're going to play out of the back and play into midfield and pass. Now, if you had obviously if we'd have had Declan Rice there, that's a bit different story because he can control a ball, pass a ball in one movement. But it is what it is at the minute. Let's hope the new coach can change this. I hope so, mate. But one thing that I discussed with Lucas the other day is when we done this a few years ago with Moyes, and we tried to change the way West Ham played at the start of the season, we was all over the place. I mean, literally all over the place a few years ago now. And it was like players were trying to do something that they've never been trained to do in their life. Now, the only way I think Lopetegui can get round it is by getting players in who have played that system religiously. Right? And I don't think West Ham players have. James Ward-Prowse definitely hasn't. Souček definitely hasn't. Alvarez has, because he's played in teams with Ajax and everything else. So I can understand it with him. But I think the midfield is a bit of a, it's a tricky one if you're going to try and do that. Dan seems stupid to me. They're desperate for him and we're selling for 18 mil. I'll get to Dan's in a minute. Only West Ham team to control the game was the 1979-1980 team. Well, I've never seen it in all of my life. I'm 37 years old. I've never seen West Ham control a match and own a match from start to finish. Right? I've seen us beat teams, but it's the West Ham way to make it hard work. Yeah, West Ham. I remember a few years ago, West Ham played Huddersfield at home. Yeah, never forget Hernandez. And I think we was 2-0 down or 3-0 down? And we come back and won 4-3 in the 90th minute. That's West Ham. Do you know what I'm saying? And that's West Ham at the London Stadium. So it is mad. Right, we'll talk about the man who left. I did put a video up yesterday of Flynn Downs. Flynn Downs is no more with us. He has decided to go down to the South Coast and hook up with Russell Martin yet again. I said on the video that I done yesterday, or the voice video that I done, that I'm actually sad to see him go because he's a West Ham fan. He's lived and dreamed his moment at West Ham. Yeah, any West Ham fan of age, growing up, wants to put the shirt on and play in the claret and blue. Yeah, that's what you dream of as a kid. When you're kicking the ball down the street, or you're kicking the ball over the park, or you're playing for your Sunday league side, you dream of playing for the team that you support. And Flynn did that. Yeah, he really did. For me, it's mixed, as I said on the video, like with Flynn. I don't think Flynn was ever going to reach the level where West Ham want to get to. I think West Ham are at that level, and a bit like Reiss Nelson, really. Yeah, Reiss Nelson, Arsenal have become bigger than Reiss Nelson, and that's why they need to get him out the door. I think £18 million for Flynn Downs is a good bit of business for West Ham. But I can't stress enough how much of a smooth bit of business that is. Yeah. And I just hope the money gets reinvested wisely into this side. Now, if someone turned around and said to me now, James, they're going to take Flynn out, 18 million. You got Irving in there who's just come in. He's going to be your backup option. He's played in Europe and he's actually looks pretty decent. I would take that all day, yeah, regardless of where he's from or whatever. So good luck to Flynn. I'm going to say this: I think Flynn Downs, he's a top lad. As I say, I've said it many times. I've known relations of his for years, yeah, and they like he will always support West Ham. always. Yeah, that geezer loves West Ham, absolutely loves West Ham. So good luck to him wherever he is and whatever he's doing. And yeah, I think the move's the right one for both parties. I will say that. Right, what's this? What about the pie on a free, Jones? I'm not on him, man. I tell you what, I'm seeing a lot of like stuff like Bergwijn. I think that's the other wing I was on about earlier on. Thank you for that comment because you just reminded me. Bergwijn's another winger that West Ham have been looking at. So you got Bergwijn, Zaha, Nelson, Jota. Do you know what I'm saying? And it does feel, as I said earlier, that we're going for wingers because we can't find a striker. But you know, uh, one of the best players in the champ already settled and knows the system. English, young. I'm not so sure it's a good price. Well, you know, it is what it is. Spurs will get 25 mil, and Trode says. Plus, the manager press screaming he needs pounds. He needs pounds. Well, he needs something. Do you know what I mean? He needs Flynn. But yeah, listen, for me, to round this video up, because I'm going to sort of call it a day in a minute. Uh, I'm I'm a little bit concerned with the striker front. I really am because really, no, I'm just starting to remember now all the wingers that we've been linked with. Wesley's another one. So you got Wesley, Bergwijn, Zaha, Nelson, Jota, Clark. That's seven. Right, right. Do you know what I mean? I've got another one there. Sorry, more fingers. That's seven. Right, and like I don't understand it. Like I don't understand why we're going for so many wingers. But you know, it is what it is. But right, I'm going to call it a day on that. Do you know what I mean? I've done 41 minutes. That will do. Smash a like on the video. Subscribe to Each One His Own TV. Hit the notification bell, and like you just said there, absolutely spot on. Don't forget Guilherme, another winger who's at the club, and Cornet. So there you go. Do you know what I mean? Not seeing much pearl diving with these linked players. Same old professional links from last season. See, I if I speak, I will end up in big trouble. That's all I'm going to say. Right? Todibo feels like a Steiden pick straight away. Yeah. When I look at him, I think, yeah, that's Steiden's work straight away. I'm not seeing enough links to warrant it's Steiden's work. Yeah. When I'm seeing things like Reece Nelson and things like that, it just feels like West Ham of old, mate. I'm going to be honest. This feels like West Ham are rebuilding, but they're rebuilding on the cheap. If I'm honest, and I'm like, really? But you know, it's difficult to attract a good striker, especially as we are not in Europe. I don't know though, the Canio, man. I don't know. Like I look at, well, if that's the case, yeah, and if what you're saying is true, right, then we have to go out and get someone and build them up. Then it's as simple as that. Like El Nesri has been mentioned, like, and even Trost there. Like, El Nesri is like he's always on everyone's lips at West Ham. Every single transfer window, El Nesri is on it every single time, right? If you can't go and find a centre forward right now, yeah, then what has he been doing for the last year? Do you know what I'm saying? Because when he come in and started to come in last season, yeah, first thing I think a lot of fans would have said is we need to change Mikel Antonio. But we need to think who's going to be the long-term replacement for Mikel Antonio. And let's have it right. It's the 17th of July, 2024, and we're no further forward of knowing who's going to replace Mikel Antonio long term. Now, for me, the only person that I can deem fit to replace Mikel is Bowen, because Bowen just does it all the time. Like, do you know what I mean? And he's that good in that position. Now, that that's a worry, man. Like, I'm going to be straight. That's a worry. If you're telling me that we can't, that it took us a year and we still can't really pinpoint a striker in the whole of Europe, right? And get someone in. And I look at Brentford, and I know we can't compare Brentford to West Ham. I understand that, but Brentford know that they're losing Ivan Toney this summer. Yeah, I think they know deep down that he's going to be out the door. Yeah, they've already got a striker in already from Club Brugge. Done, finished. Like, do you know what I mean? And I'm looking at it and I'm thinking to myself, we can't even pinpoint a striker for an aging striker that we've got now, and it baffles me. It really does baffle me. London, 65,000 each week, week in, week out. A team that is ambitious. I would say that we're an ambitious club. We're trying to get into Europe. We won a trophy a few years ago. I don't see how hard it is to go out and find a centre forward out there, or build a centre forward up over a period of time. Do you know what I mean? If Duran is the guy, and Duran's the man that you want, and he's the one who everyone's saying go and get him, then why are West Ham hesitating over 5 million when they know full well that they need a centre forward? Do you know what I'm saying? So that's how I feel on it. I do not understand why it takes so long for us to kick into gear over a centre forward. I really don't. You're right about building a striker up. The Villa lad would have been perfect, bruv. Fuming if we can't get him in, James. On him, he's another one. I look at him and I think it all goes back to how you perceive West Ham United and what you see West Ham as. Now, for me, I want West Ham to be trying to compete for Europe this season. I don't think that's too much to ask. I think if you go out and buy the players that we need, right, we've got enough players in this side to warrant being in Europe. And the issue that I have, and which people keep forgetting over and over again, and they really do forget, is that if we don't compete for Europe, Alvarez, Kudus will be out the door. Simple as that. These players will be gone. Kudus will not hang about, and Paqueta to a point. Yeah. So you've got to show a statement of like, because I'm looking at Aston Villa, right? They're dropping 50 million on Onana, 33.3 million pounds on Ian Matson. Like, they're not mucking about. They're going in, and I know they've got Champions League, but that's how we should be. Like, do you know what I'm saying? So yeah, I'm just ignore me. I'm rambling on. Do you know what I mean? Right, that's me done. Hope you enjoyed the video. Smash a like on it. Subscribe to E20 Zone TV. I'll be back probably Thursday night. Yeah, probably tomorrow night, Thursday, for more content. Late night show. I'll be there. Hope you are too. Take care. Peace.